Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts. Welcome and welcome back. I'm here today to do my Take 5 challenge. That's the challenge that Fiona, who is Miss Paintalot, sets on her Facebook group. Miss Crafting with Miss Paint. Yeah, Miss Paintalot. I can't remember the full title at Facebook group, so I'm not even going to try and remember it. The link is always in my description. I've always got a link to Fiona in my descriptions. She's a lovely, amazing lady. So anyway, it's her Take 5 challenge. And this week's challenge is to make a notebook. And as always, we have to incorporate these 5 things. We can use anything else we fancy, as long as we've got these 5 things included. And today they are lace, fabric, a button, music paper and a fussy cut. I'm going to do a collage, a little notebook, because I have been doing some other collage, some mindless collage. Just, you know, when your mojo's not behaving properly and you don't know what to make, you don't know what to do, inspirations flown out at window. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, a little collage notebook. So I'll pop my little list over there and show you what I've got out to do it with. I've just grabbed a handful of fussy cuts out of my, well, I haven't just randomly grabbed a handful. I've sorted through and got some nice flowers and some butterflies. And yeah, I've been doing, I'll show you what I've been doing, because I am going to do another video on what I've been doing. Just a quick show. There you go. Right, that's gone now. So I've got the leftovers from that on my desk, and I thought, right, crack on with your Take 5 challenge. So I've decided to make the cover of the notebook out of this. I'm just going to scoop those over to one side, out of this file folder. Yeah, it's a British one. It's not got tabs on like your US ones have. So I'm just going to use a section of it, and just to make it a bit more manageable to work with, I'm going to cut it down now. I should have done it first. I don't know how big my notebook's going to be yet, so I'm not going to cut it down to final size. I'm just going to cut it in half, basically, just to make it more of a friendly size. It's not even going to be that big. And I'm just going to take the top off that because it's a bit bent. This is one that's been hanging about in a pile of other stuff, so it's got battered corners. Right, we've cut all the bits off that don't look nice now. Yeah, so rather than search and get things out for this challenge, I'm using what I've already got around me, what I've been doing other things with. So I'm going to use some music paper, because that's one of our 5 things. I've got a piece there. I'm going to grab a book page. I've got my little tub here. I have a book and I just keep going at it. This is another, I don't know why I'm using David Copperfield again. I like Dickens books. The ones I buy, they're not majorly, they're not antique or anything. They're from the 70s and 80s. But the papers are lovely and thick, and I like the colour of it. It's not too aged, so you can age it however much you want with your inks. So yeah, we've got that. What we've got there, Mr. Dick gives some advice, does he? Really? I like the David Copperfield side better. So I've got a bit of book page, bit of music paper, and what happened to that little random piece of green? Shall we see if we can incorporate that random piece of green? Yeah, and then that's going to be my base, and on it I'm going to put some of these flowers. I don't think I like that one. It's too big. I've decided what I want: flower, butterfly, and I've also got out a pack of these. These are labels that I haven't finished cutting up yet. Those ones, they're from Mad Paper Crush. Her labels are absolutely lovely. There's a really good variety in one kit. So yeah, I might use one of her labels on this. Yeah, I might do. I even like that, you know, it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have printed that out at half size. That would have been a full A4 sheet, and I've just printed it out half size, put 2 to a page to get some tinier labels. So what else have we got in here? Is that, yeah, that's the other half, I think. I don't know, I might just even like those numbers. Yeah, I'll leave those out as possibilities. I like these as well though. These specimens, item number, description, stock. I think they were from Graphics Fairy. Oh, we've got numbers. Oh, stop it. This is why it takes me forever to collage. Oh, and we've got some labels from Kelly's Crafts by Kelly and some from Tracy Fox. So we've got labels, you get the gist. So I think before we decide on the label to use, we're going to decide on the flower and the butterfly. Righty-ho. Nope, don't want you. I like you, I like you. I think my book needs something bigger than these. Yeah, I don't think I can organise myself to put more than one flower on. So we've got a few butterflies. Some of these are a bit big for a flower, yeah. Can you imagine that butterfly landing on that flower? It'd flatten it, wouldn't it? I have this thing about perspective with my collage, and I know I don't need to, but I can't help it. And I don't get it right all the time. Yeah, I do put huge butterflies on things. Can you imagine that thing flying through your window? I don't think it'd get through for wings sometimes when you use those big ones. I know I'm waffling now, aren't I? So, right, we've narrowed it down. That one, I don't like the blue on that one. I really do like that green one, but I've not cut it out. Do I want to be fussy cutting on camera? That one's pretty nice. So, this is how I collage. I grab an handful of stuff, narrow it down. Because if I've got too much out to look at constantly, it's too much choice and I just can't crack on with it. So, I think I want to do a landscape book. I'm going to do a spine at that side. One of the ones where you either staple it or, yeah, put eyelets in, or I may just even sew it with buttons. Yeah, I have got a bag of random buttons that's been on my desk. I also took out a different bag of random buttons. So I don't know which buttons we're going to use. Let's do the collage first. So I always start by just randomly ripping my book page. I don't like white edges all the time, so I'm not having any white edge on this. These are the pieces. I don't throw them. They go in my collage box. And when I'm doing one of those franking pages, I use them for that. I hope the lighting's okay as well. It's very dull here, so I've put my ring light on quite a low setting. That fits on there, but we want something else. We want some music paper. I might be, yeah, radical and put my music paper going lengthways. Yeah, let's do it. Again, that is something. I always had to have everything the way that you could read it. I'm getting better with that. I think I like the flower on that. I don't want a lot of music paper showing, I don't think. This is not going to end up landscape, is it, at this rate? Let's stick a butterfly on there. Let's see what this butterfly looks like on there. I think when you put the green one on, the main thing you're looking at is the butterfly, not the flower. That one's better. Yeah, let's stick with a little cabbage white. And I want some green in it. I don't know where I want it. I tend to always put my bit of colour under where the label is, or one of the focal points. So it's going to end up going down here, I think, and a label on top. We now just have to decide what label. Let's try that. Oh, that's not the long one, is it? That's too red. Don't like it. I think actually one of these might be too big, but I'm going to cut one out just to see. Let's do some speed fussy cutting with huge scissors. There we go. If I've got a line to cut along, I can cut pretty straight. we go. Let's have a look, see what that's like. I don't like it on top of that green. You know, I think I want my green up top near the butterfly. And I am going to turn my music paper the proper way around. I just can't do it. Oh, it says, what should we do with a drunken sailor? I don't like that it says that there, so guess what? Right, that's starting to come something like what I want. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that bit sticking out. Maybe I might have my music paper on top of my book page. Let's have a look, see. I like it both ways, so I don't think it matters. I do. It's not going to be a long notebook because it's going to end up being square. So I'm going to come in and ink around the edges of my bits of paper. It's probably not how a lot of people do collage. I don't always do it like this. Sometimes I just do random collage bases and then I'll add bits to it later. But today I want to do it like this. So I'm going to ink all the edges of each piece because I'm not quite sure what order I'm sticking them down in. Yeah, I remember those fussy cuts took me ages, but they were worth it. I had to get my craft knife out to do inside bits. I'm going to get a brush to put a little bit of ink on this. I want to tone down that little bit of white. And I'll just put a little piece of my whatever underneath. Put it the other way, missus, because that way it's wanting to pop back up. Yeah, I find inking the edges of fussy cuts much easier with these little brushes. They're a bit softer. I tend to bend them and make a mess when I use my dabbing tool, my dauber. And as well as doing the edges, I'm just toning down some of the white. If I'd have printed these on cream paper, I wouldn't have got that. But I sometimes find it alters the colours. I think it can sometimes dull them down. I suppose putting ink on top of them does exactly the same. Just play and see. Yeah, I like that much better now. So I'm going to use my Super Duper Elmer's Extreme glue for this. Oh, I've got to get some fabric on somewhere, haven't I, and lace. I know what I'm going to do with my buttons. I think I can make the closure out of lace, and I can, yeah, I might put some fabric under my sticker, my label. Yeah, that'd be good. So I want to leave an edge here because of how I'm going to bring this notebook together. I'll grab my glue book, which I've got out. And let's glue the back of this. Can you see me? And I've zoomed in a little bit closer when we're doing some collage work so you can perhaps see it a bit better. Love how well this glue glides. It's the one that will stick fabric as well. And it dries matte, which is fabulous. Some glue sticks leave really shiny marks if you get them where you don't want them, don't they? Right, let's pop you down there. We've got to have the writing slightly straight. I'm not going to measure it with a ruler today. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's straight enough, I can live with that. So I think we've now just decided the music paper's going on top of that because I've stuck that down first. So that's my decision made. I was going to put that underneath there, weren't I? I've gone and stuck it all down like a... I'm going to peel it up before it sticks. There we go. I shall now do the back of my green paper and just tuck it underneath. There you go. I'm happier with that now. Yeah, it's just for a little bit of colour. It makes your eye move. I saw someone say that and it really does work. Right, what? That doesn't seem tall enough now, that music paper, does it? So do you know what? I'm going to grab a different piece of music paper. That's going to end up on something else. When I'm doing this, oh, we've got a piece here that's already ripped. Oh, I like that. Let's get rid of that straight edge though. Yeah, when I'm doing collage, and I've not done it for a while usually, I'll take a photograph of how I want it laid out. And then when I come to take it all off the page and ink it up and put it down. I like that one. That looks good there. Yeah, and then I can just refer to the photograph. But I use my phone for filming my videos, so I can't do that, can I? I like how that's gone. Yes, I do. So I'll just get rid of the top sheet off my gluey book. Oh look, it's not ripping off nice now because I've got a lot of edge. I'm going to cut it. You might not know. I do this, look. You see, I use a big chompy Tim Holtz scissors that get used for everything. And I'll just cut that off. You'll then find that your next page comes off without half it tearing away. I really should put a lid on my ink pad if I had stuff like this. I'll move my project. Look at that. There we go. So let's ink up the music paper. No, let's glue it. We've already inked it. I've not done a video, have I, for this? I've not done a video for about a week. It's amazing how quickly you get rusty. It really is. So I'm going to pop you there. We like that. I'm just going to lift this up and look at it straight on. Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'm quite happy with that. So that's going to dictate the size of my notebook. I'm going to trim it down a bit closer. And then I'll know how big my pages need to be. So I think I'm going to trim that down now before I put my elements on. I'm going to get my little chopper this time. Now my page is smaller. Put lid on your ink, woman, before you make a mess. Thank you. So I shall come in. I think that'll be a nice border, or maybe not. That's too much. I want it trimmed in a little bit closer. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to come in and trim it there. Of course, if I had already got my piece of card cut down, that would have dictated where my collage started and ended, but I really didn't have a plan for this. I quite like that. You might think we've got a big gap there, but we'll get round to doing something with that. Don't panic. If I'm not panicking, you shouldn't panic. Do I want to round them corners? Yes, I do, because I find with thin paper, if you don't round corners, they end up getting bent. I think I'm just going to use... my medium size one. Please work. Yes. Can be a little bit tricky, this. You know, just bang it on the desk. If the bit of paper's still in from the last time you used it, it can cut really strangely. Right, we've got that there. Because you can collage the back and the inside on this. I think if I did that today at speed I'm working at, we might be here 3 hours. Right, so there's my flower. Butterfly, flutterby, where are you? There's my little flutterby. I like him. I like how his wing goes onto that bit of green. And there's my label. I'd have to cut. Mind you, I don't mind covering the green up. You know what? I like that. Oh, I've got to get the fabric in, haven't I? Here's an idea. I could put a strip of fabric down there under my buttons. I love this fabric. It's the Edith Eldon honeysuckle. Yeah, let's try that. I'm just going to cut a strip off. I could cover the entire... I could actually just cover the entire end of it, couldn't I, like that? So it goes on the back and the front. Interesting. curiouser and curiouser. I like the look of that, I really do. But no, I just want to strip a bit. If I get the strip done and I don't like it, then I'll come in and wrap the edge. So I've just snipped the end and I'm going to rip. Again, I'm going to rip a little bit slow because I don't want it curling. I do not want to have to get my iron out. I'm tempted to buy some hair straighteners. I think it was Angela Kerr who used hair straighteners to iron a little bit of fabric. I thought that was just absolutely fabulous. Just got the hair straighteners and shoot, there you go, done. That'd be fabulous if you've got I have a lot of things, you know, when they're just stuffed in tubs, they get more creased up than they ought to. Right, I've got my strip. Look at that. My flowers now. Drunk. Yes, strip of fabric down there. I'm going to cut that to the rough length of the book, just like so. I like my little frayed edges. Mine end up a bit long. And here's what I want to do with buttons. I think I'm going to grab, yeah, I'll grab this bag. To be honest, I didn't make the decision to grab this bag. I can't see other bag. Now I can spot it. Here we go. It's hiding behind my glue that hasn't got its lid on. Now it has. Sorry for banging that down on the desk. Why do I keep things in these grip seal bags? I can't open them sometimes. There we go. Right, I'm just going to pour out a selection of these buttons. I know I've got some greens, I know I've got some wood. Oh, I like those wood ones. Ooh, those wood ones might be nice, because then they won't actually, you'll still be focusing on the images, won't you? Oh, I do like them. My main thought was to use the greens, but I think they might be too in your face. Yes, I like that. I do like that. Right, let's put that to one side. I'm going to be really tidy and put these other buttons back in my bag. That was so easy, that, weren't it? I think I might just film myself for my own purposes when I work, even if it's not fit to put on YouTube, because I seem to make my decisions much quicker, much less faffage and ditherage. Ooh. I was playing Tiddlywinks with that one. Tiddlywinks, now there's a game. Most kids, if you said let's have a game of Tiddlywinks, they'd be like, what? What's that? They wouldn't have a clue, would they? No, you're alright, Mum, we'll stick to Xbox. Right, bring in the Elmer's again. Get my new clean glue book out. Can you see me? Yes. And yeah, I'm going to get the flower on first, I think, because I don't mind my label going over the flower's stem. Now this might be a bit fiddly actually to do glue stick. I'll do the bigger parts in glue stick, and then I might have to just dot a little bit of my cosmic shimmer or art glitter in certain places. Although actually it runs so smooth and it doesn't seem to go gloopy, this Elmer's glue. I quite like it. I've not had any problems with it coming up either. So let's have you there. If I use a new glue, I don't tend to use it, make something and then sell it straight away. I'll tend to make something with it and stash it in cupboard for weeks to months or on a shelf, because I really want to know that's not going to fall apart. Right, there's my cosmic shimmer, because I've not got enough on some of my edges, have I? So I'm just going to dot a bit under. We know nothing's moving when it gets that on, but it can tend to wrinkle thin paper when you put a lot on. That's why I've not done the whole fussy cut with it. My dream machine would be a Xyron sticker maker. Whoa. Now I did have a little one once. My friend Cassie bought me one for Christmas one year, and I've no idea where it is. But you can get big ones now. And when I say stickers, the year wide to year wide, you would put your little fussy cuts on it, send it through this Xyron sticker machine, and then you would take them off and the whole back would be sticky for you to place wherever you want. So yeah, Xyron sticker machine. How much time would that save? They're not cheap though. I think they're made by the Crafters Companion makes them. They've been about for yonks. I just don't think junk journals have discovered them yet. They'll all be out buying them now, won't they? No, I'm not so vain as to think there's that many junk journals watching me who are going to be buying Xyron sticker makers. And I do apologise for enabling. Right. Yeah. So fabric's going to go there. We're going to close it with some fine ribbon. So that gets fussy cut music paper, button fabric, lace. Everything's included without me having to put something on in a panic at the end. Pretty happy with that. Right, these are on like a thin card, so I'm going to come in and stick these using my Cosmic Shimmer from the get-go. A little squiggle on the back. I didn't ink that, but I can live with that. I've cut it right close up to the green anyway, so it doesn't need ink. Yeah, that's straight enough for me. He's already been inked because it's obviously been auditioned for something else, as Fiona would say, and not quite made the cut, and ended up back in my fussy cut tin. I've not got my fussy cut tin out because my light reflects on it and it's very glary. I love having a Katie cornered butterfly me on edge of something. Oh, I like him. That's lovely. Right, before we go on and do this, I'm going to give the whole edge a bit of an ink, and then we're going to make some pages for it. I was very low on tea dyed paper, even scraps. My scraps were down to basic scraps. So I've done a fresh batch. I know I did promise to do some tea dyeing on camera for someone, and I just never got round to it. Kids back off school, I can't see that happening. But I'm very simple the way I tea dye. I basically just paint it on with a paintbrush. I fill a kitchen jug up, put some tea bags in, boiling water. I've got an A3 plastic tub, and I've got a big pasting, the one where you'd put wallpaper paste on with. Dink it in tea. I had to cut some edge bristles off so it fits in my jug, and just paint it. And then I just pile them all in another tub. Then I stick them in my airing cupboard to dry. And it really is that simple. If I want to get those lovely patterns that people get with the plastic doilies, I'll chuck a few plastic doilies between them and just leave them there for a few days to dry. As they dry, I'll just peel the ones off the top, and then I don't iron my tea dyed paper. I stick it through my laminator. I do. In fact, I did it the other day and it was pretty cold up here. Because my craft room is tiny and my radiator is literally under my desk in front of the window, I don't want my desk hot all the time, so I have that radiator turned off. It's only like it's not even 2 foot by 2 foot. You don't need a big radiator in a cupboard. And it was pretty cold, so I was sending all this tea dyed paper through my laminator, and I just got my hands on top of it, keeping warm. I was tempted to try and get my feet up on it somehow, but that could have been disastrous. Right, we've done that inking around the edge. Grab my tea dyed paper. I've got some straw paper here as well, because I did toy with the idea of putting straw paper pages in, but I've just not got that colour on front. So here's my tea dyed paper. Look how nice and flat it comes out your laminator. Yeah, like it. You've still got that crinkly sound that you get when it's been baked in oven. Oh, I've even got one there with a little bit of a pattern yeah, if I want, for some reason, I don't know if there is a reason, people who do the really patterned ones could tell me. I get better impression when I do it in the summer and I just stick the tub somewhere in the house, and also when I mix coffee in with my tea, the patterns just come out more vibrant. I forgot I'd even put a doily in. Yeah, that's quite subtle. I like that. I'm going to use those in this book. So we need to figure out what size pages we want, and I'm not doing the kind of pages where you have to fold them over. I'm just basically sticking my pages in, and then we're going to clamp that edge with fabric and buttons. So how's this going to work? I'm just seeing how to make the best of my... Yes, I will get 2 pages. So if I get 1, 2, 3, 4. If I use the 5 pieces of tea dyed paper, but I don't really want a very chunky book. I'm going to use 3 pieces. I'll never hang myself making a decision, as this well, they do in Yorkshire. Very strange expression. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to measure the size my pages need to be. I'll just grab some random ruler. Oh, it's in centimetres, this one. So this all depends on the size of your book. I want a little bit like 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So I want to make my pages 1/4 of an inch narrower than my book, but 1/2 inch shorter, because I want 1/4 at the top and the bottom. I'm saying inches. 1/2 centimetre I'm going to do rather than 1/4 inch. So that's 12.5 centimetres. So I'm going to do my paper, it's just over. I'll do my paper just over 12. And the height is 14 and a bit. I want to measure that again in inches, see if it's going to be much easier to understand. I'm going to grab an inchy ruler. Let's see if it works out nice with inches. Much better. 5 5/8. So do I want just an 1/8 each side or a 1/4? I just want an 1/8. So I'm going to take 1/4 off the height and an 1/8 off the width. So my paper wants to be 5 3/8 high by, oh, and that's perfectly 5 wide. 4 yeah, 4 7/8. 4 7/8 wide. I need to write this down because I'm forgetting it already. 4 7/8 wide. Can't believe how perfect that were in inches when I cut it randomly. And yeah, we've done that one. 5 3/8 high. So that's wide, high, 5 3/8. So let's grab my paper trimmer. And like I said, I'm just going to put 6 pages in, because this is going to be, I want it to be a pretty slim notebook that we can put inside something else. And I'm not going to go, they're all A4 sheets, these. So we're going to cut the height first. I don't mind if they're not all lined up perfect. So 5 3/8 high. 1 2 3. And top by 4 7/8 wide. Pardon me. So 5 3/8 high. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. By 4 7/8 wide. So I now have 6 pages. There you go, to clamp in my book. And I also have a lot of little bits. Now these are perfect size to make other little notebooks. They will be perfect for my franking page collages. And this will now be the pages for my little notebook. Let's pop them in and see whether we measured that right. Oh wowza, I did. And I think I want to round all the corners, I really do, because I've done it there. So let's grab the corner rounder. I'll do 2 or 3 at a time. We use the middle one, the 7mm. Not quite together, that's it. Let's make sure I round the right corners. Yes, I'm rounding the correct corners. And I know how long this video's gone on for. I hope you're not fed up. So, yeah. That's my little notebook. Right, I'm now going to grab my that fabric's going to go there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give the impression that I have sewn it, but I'm not going to sew it. What I'm actually going to do is glue it. So I'm just going to put, which glue shall I use? I'll use this one. I'm going to glue it a little bit and staple it. We perhaps don't need to even glue it before we staple, but I just find it neater. Oh, I like that, like that. So that back page now is going to let me know how I want all my other pages lined up, roughly. That wants to be a little bit further in, doesn't it? Yeah. Job's a good one. So I don't honestly think I've got a stapler that's going to go through all these. I got rid of my stapler. In fact, I gave it kids because I started using my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. Let's try him out. Let's see if Timothy can staple this many things at once. Where are you, Tim? Cheers, mate. Right, let's try it and see. Now I've got a line along here because it was a file folder. So, wowzer, it can do it. It can staple that many sheets. That's fabulous. Right, so that's now our notebook. Yeah, when you use it, you will bend that back. But we could actually we could score it, couldn't we? Can you tell I've not made one of these for a long time? Yeah, I'm going to score that down there. Or do I want my fabric a bit narrower? I don't know. I'm not going to score it, no. I'll leave that to the person who uses this notebook, which is probably not going to be me. Because when I make things like this, I won't use them, so I sell them to people who will use them. Terrible. I have the plainest planners and notebooks. I ought to start doing one, didn't I? Journal with me. Journal with Julie. Oh, that's got a bit of a ring to it, hasn't it? Journal with Julie. Oh, I quite like that. Right, because I've stapled, this is going to get glued. And I'm using this Cosmic Shimmer. Just going to tiny bit with my finger. Stick that on. So it's an illusion, this, really, isn't it, that these buttons are going to be sewn, because they're not. But what I am going to do to make them look, as Fiona does this, authentic, as Fiona would say, I'm going to put some twine through the holes on the buttons. Yes, I am. Right, here's some fine twine. And I'm just going to thread it through. Will it thread through without a needle? I'm hoping so. Right, I'm just going to pause because my needle is downstairs. And I'm back. Right, oh yeah, I was making some clusters downstairs yesterday while I watched some telly. So I took my pincushion and sewing jar with me. Right, I had a thought as well while I was there. if I put this thick twine through those buttons, it's quite thick, so my buttons are going to be even more proud of the surface and a bit wobbly. So I'm going to switch my buttons out because I do like the look of those natural buttons. You know these tiny ones I've got that's handmade with love? I'm going to use those upside down like that because they are concave and the twine will be, yeah, inside that bit. So let me move that. I've also turned light up a little bit because it's got a little bit more dull. I didn't really notice that. So yeah, I'm going to use these. I think I like the look of them better because they're not shiny as well. Yes, this is going to work much better. Right, let me grab my bodkin, as I call it, which is basically a blunt needle with a big eye. I know I've got one because we're using it. Where are you? There we go. I'm just going to check it goes through the hole in the button. Yes. Because this frays too much for me to just thread it through. It's not going to happen. It's going to be hard work going it through needle. Oh, it's worked. So I'm just going to go in and up. Take it back off the needle and just tie it. So that we get that authentic look, as Fiona says. Which if I had sewed this together, that's what it would have looked like, isn't it? Oh, all my hairs. They're not hairs, the fibres, aren't they? On my thing, we're getting a bit stuck. I think I've managed that, yeah. Just going to give it, tie it twice so it's knotted. And then I'm just going to come in with my little scissors and snip it off. Just like that. I like that. Yes, I do. I like that. And can you see underneath? I mean, if we put it, can you see? It would be very wobbly. But that's nice and flat. I'm going to try this next one because I've just cut it without using bodkin. No, because that's much deeper than the needle, it don't want to go through. I'm going to have to use needle. It's easier to get through the eye than through the hole in the button. So down and up. Take my needle off. Don't waste too much twine. And tie it. I've left myself a little bit more to tie it with this time. We don't want to waste it, do we? It's 2 little knots. Snippety snip. I'm quite liking this cute little notebook. Oh, that's going the wrong way. I'm trying again without my needle, not caring. So I've tried it 3 times now. I think I'm going to have to accept the fact that I need a needle to do it. So down and up. Yeah, Fiona's got me onto Gilmore Girls again, and I'm not joking. I watched the whole I think it's 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls before Christmas, because it was one of the things I just have on in the background when I'm crafting. You can go through a lot of episodes in a day, and I know them so well I don't even need to watch them, I just listen. I love that programme. So that's excellent choice there, Fiona, Gilmore Girls. Right, and I'm going to glue these on again with this, because I don't have any Fabri-Tac. I'm trying not to ever buy any more. Right, so I've put it around the edge of the button, can you see? If I put it in the middle it won't work because it's concave. And I'm not going to be too finicky about where I place these. That's one. I need to refill this little bottle. I'm not too worried about it squishing because it's going to soak into the fabric rather than squish out. So I'm putting plenty on. go. So we can bob this in a side pocket with this bit, and that can be showing. Or you don't even, it couldn't even be a bottom pocket. I know Fiona's doing the 31 days of junk journaling. She's doing a lovely book to put all her Take 5 makes in. Right, I don't think I've got those very even. I'm going to just put that one up a bit. Evenish they are, and I'm happy with that. I'm getting much more relaxed and not having to go for absolute perfection. Let's put the pin back in. So there we have it. Let's get the checklist. Make sure I'm pretty confident we've done everything now. There's going to be no last minute panic to stick a bit of ribbon on or a bit of lace. Let's grab a pen. What colour's the pen today? It is red. So, yeah, that's it. Little notebook, tea-dyed paper. On the back, you've got your staples. You could, I'm not going to do it now. Just get a piece of, just put something over. That's wrong colour, isn't it, woman? Yeah, use the same colour that the notebook's made out of and just pop it over. Now, if I'd not done the fake sewing there, this would be a no-sew notebook. Not everybody likes to sew, do they? So, what we got? Oh, I've not put the closure on. I haven't done the closure. So, it's a really good job I went to my list. We've got fabric, button, music paper, fussy cut. I need to do a closure. Right, I've got a bag of random lace here. If I can just find it. Where's it gone? And I've got some pretty narrow ones. Look. That's a pretty narrow one. Oh wow, I didn't even know that were elasticated. Oh, now this changes things. It's just a random bag I've bought off eBay. Oh, that one's not elasticated. That's interesting. It doesn't look like it's elasticated at all. It just looks like crochet lace. So what I'm now thinking, because it's elasticated, is I could have that kind of fastener on. And if I'd known that, I would have altered where I put my butterfly. What about that? No, I'm going to go for my original idea of a tie one. Doesn't matter that it's elasticated. Perhaps it will just mean that we've got a little bit more give if we end up sticking loads of stuff in this notebook. So I'm going to grab my crocodile and I'm just going to make a hole front and back. Don't go through the pages, woman. I'm eyeballing it. And I'm just going to make a mark on the back to make sure I get them pretty even. There we go. Yep, I'm going to, yeah, I got my eyelets out ready. I'm going to grab a couple of these ones, I think, the antique bronzed ones. And I'm just going to pop those in. So, goes that way around. There we have one. That's nice and smooth on the other side. And there we have the other. There we go. So I'm going to get this lace, which is elastic. How mad is that? Elastic lace. Yeah, that's going to look good. So firstly I'm going to cut this in half. Do I want elastic or do I want that? I think that one's a bit bigger. you know what? I want to save that elastic lace for something else. So I'm look, quick change on lace. What am I like? So these, I think these are metre lengths. Yeah, I'm just measuring them on my desk because my desk is a metre. So yeah, that's a metre of lace cut into 2 half meters, and then I'm going to pop them through the eyelets. I hope it's not too bulky. I don't think it will be. Yes, so glad I checked my list. There we go. The same on the back. Well, I would have missed this out. So I won't be able to pop it in a pocket like I said, would I? It'll have to go in one of the gusseted pockets, I think. Because it's made it, the closure's going to make it quite a chunky little monkey. There we go. So now we have it. Oh, I like. Yeah, it's quite chunky, this lace. What I might do, I might have a look for some less chunky lace. Do you know what? I'm not going to tie it. I'm going to leave it as it is, because it'll make it too chunky. That I like now. That is so cute. I'm really happy with that collage. To say I've not done much crafting, but I have been practicing collage. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found that useful. A notebook that can do without any sewing. You don't even have to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, if you like what you see and you want to, excuse me, have a go yourself, if you join Fiona's group, she's Miss Paintalot over on Facebook, and people do their take fives. In fact, anything Fiona makes, they then post their version on group. It's a lovely, friendly group. I do recommend it. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.